Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of isol8, yet another one. In fact, this is episode number 7, and it's quite an exciting episode. We've got a first time isolator, an isol8, whatever we are calling them. We still haven't figured that quite out yet. And the second exciting thing, or big thing, about this particular one is because it's episode 7, it is our second last isol8 episode. So next episode, 2 weeks from now, will be the final isol8 because it's episode 8. So look forward to that one. But tonight, yes, we've got a very big episode for you yet again. So without further ado, let's kick it off with our first time isol8 contributor. Here we go.
Her breath hangs heavy at the back of her throat. The lies, the hurt, the pain, they choke. She does not cry, not a single tear. Her sorrow is empty, as is the fear. She is mighty, a force unknown. Her heart needs no one to feel complete. Inhale, exhale, rinse, repeat. Breath hangs heavy at the back of her throat. The lies, the hurt, the pain, they choke. She does not cry, not a single tear. Her sorrow is temporary, as is the fear. She is mighty, force unknown. Her heart needs no one to feel complete.
important.
I think I read it somewhere right at the very start of this whole pandemic crisis thing. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Don't touch your face with your hands. Yeah, I definitely read it somewhere. Probably on the socials. Because that's where the most up-to-date information is, right? Anyway, I read it somewhere, and it doesn't matter where. Probably some article. Yeah, that's right. It was some article, and I almost scrolled past it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was sitting trying to figure out what was the real information or not, and considering the fact that the coffee I was sipping on was probably going to be my last one in a cafe for a long time. And I was worrying about the effects of caffeine detox. Yeah. Yes, that's when I read it, because I started searching for health tips. Anyway, I read somewhere that it is important to keep busy during isolation. But then I also read somewhere that wasn't the case, so I was going to take it with a grain of salt. But then I came across one article that said it was great. Do small things. And I thought, that's fantastic. I can do that. And one of the suggestions was that you should pick on a household task, just one a week that you have always had on the back burner. And one of the suggestions was to clear out a cupboard. One that you've been meaning to for like ever, and just haven't ever gotten around to it. Anyway, the article said this is a great task because it's also likely to take you back to other times in your life when you weren't in isolation, obviously, and because of like nostalgia or something, and a longing for stimulation. Anyway, because like a cupboard holds things, right? It's a vessel, but not just for objects. It holds memories. So I thought, yeah, the hallway cupboard. I am totally going to tackle that. But then I thought, nah, I'll wait for a while first, because it's probably best not to get straight into it. So I left it for a few days, and then that turned into a week. But I'd walk past it every day, and I'd think about it, And then maybe it got to a point, and then maybe I'd chip away at it for a while. But because I hadn't like planned time for it, I kind of ran out of time before I had to go somewhere else, like to work, because everyone's an essential worker. And I kind of just had to fill it back up again. Because each time I wouldn't get all the way through it, you know, like I'd get distracted by all the stuff that I was finding, and the memories that would take me back to it. And anyway, you know, I was sometimes it was just hard to stop, you know. It was like I was constantly putting myself in the cupboard. It sounds stupid, right? You know, like locking myself away. I mean, as the isolation period went on, it really, really started to feel like this, you know? No, you don't. You don't. Oh, well, it's like I was always putting a part of myself in a box, and sometimes I didn't even want to go back into the box, you know? I kind of had to really put myself into it and push it and like cram it back in there, and it was like a growing feeling, you know? Like, it really like grew over time. Over the time I was stuck at home. But then it was like later I started walking past that cupboard, and it was like it would always stop me. Every day, a different time I'd pass it. It was like it was calling to me, you know? And well, yeah. Well, now, here I am, talking to you, because, I mean, obviously not like on one of those couches like in the movies, because we have to do it via Zoom. But, you know, I thought I should probably, like, talk to someone, like a professional, because, well, because I can't stand it anymore. They won't shut up. Well, that's it for another isol8 episode. This was episode number 7, and we really hope that you enjoyed tonight's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you too to our artists, and especially a big thank you to our first-time isol8, Antonio Zanchetta, for his fantastic work that kicked us off for the night. We will see you in a few weeks' time for our very final episode, episode number 8 of isol8. Take care out there, stay vigilant, be careful, but still also start to open yourselves up to the possibility of connection again. Alright, take care everyone, and